Time now for more Cowboys Q&A as we continue to deal with the frustration and the anger and everything coming out of this embarrassing Thanksgiving ruining day, by the way, as well. So use hashtag Cowboys to get your questions on the air. Makes it a lot easier for producer Dylan to find them and bring them up for me as well. All right, so first up here we got Jason Garrett in the comments. Dylan, you're trying to troll me miles away. Okay, I see how it is. Okay, you know what? There's only one response here. Okay, boomer. That's my response to Garrett. And also, of course, the good old FG, because it is totally time to fire Jason Garrett. Of that, I have very little doubt. So, kind of weird that Jason Garrett's spending his time in the comments as opposed to talking with his team. Go figure, right? Oh, keep those comments coming here. Michael R. Who will be the interim if Jason is fired? Great question, Michael. You've got options here. I would think Kris Richard is one of your first options. Internal hire, I think in general is a bad idea, but you have options on this team. Richard and Moore have some long-term value if that's the route you want to go. John Kitna has been a head coach, not at the NFL level, but at the high school level. Rod Marinelli as well. You've also got Doug Nussmeier, who has other coaching experience as well. That's more of a college level, but you got some experience on that staff. My vote would be Richard. I could see Kitna being the surprise pick there to let Richard focus on the defense, more on the offense, and let Kitna be the CEO for now. I don't think a promotion long-term really changes anything, but I think some combination of Richard, Moore, Kitna, then guys like Rod Marinelli, then guys like Doug Nussmeier are probably your top options there. All right, next up from Afori MD. Hopefully I got your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. I think JJ will finally bring down the hammer. It's going to come at some point if the team doesn't make a miraculous recovery, and that's not going to happen. But the question is, does it happen tonight, tomorrow, before next game, at the end of the year? I'm still going to lean, just because I know how Jason Garrett operates and Jerry Jones operates, that they're going to prefer to wait out the season, because Jerry Jones' number one goal is to win a Super Bowl this year. That's what he's focused on right now. Firing Jason Garrett does not help you with that goal this year. Makes us feel better, might maybe say a little better long term, or at least that you get the wheels working behind the scenes. But firing Garrett right now doesn't help you, because there's not going to be enough institutional change there. But at some point, it's going to happen. Super chat from the Popos. This hurts like breakup beer on me. I think you mean this hurts like a breakup, and then the beer on me for the super chat. I have not consumed nearly enough alcohol tonight to not feel terrible about this game. I really thought they were going to win. I felt really confident about the Cowboys team because of how they play when Garrett's ass is on the line. And then they come out, they eat the bones, and they lay an egg. It's a complete disaster. So thank you very much for that super chat, the Popos. I appreciate you and everybody else watching right now, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Next up on the show from Edward Medina. Or is it Medina? No, it's got to be Medina. Fire Garrett, yes. Underachieving, yes. Best roster in the NFL, at least top 5. Snake bitten, wow. We can't get out of our own way. You summed it up very well there, Edward. Keep the comments going, FGs. You got to make a change. King James, the truth. Is it safe to say Garrett has lost control of this team? If so, with the same roster, what available coach can be successful? Does it fix Dak's ability to make bad decisions? So I'll break these down one at a time. Safe to say he's lost the team? Maybe. I think that's certainly leaning that direction. I'll jump to Dak here. Every player makes bad decisions. Dak was certainly not good enough tonight. Even if he like he did against the Vikings or even the Lions, I don't know if they were going to win that game. They got issues, man, and issues extend beyond and even more importantly than Dak Prescott. Now, in terms of available coaches, you got a variety of options. I think the roster's still good. I'll continue to hammer home my number one guy, and that's Lincoln Riley. Now, it's going to be a hard sell because Oklahoma is an elite job, one of the best in college football. But if you're setting up your list of guys you want to have come in and replace Garrett, I think Riley at the top of the list, especially because the Jones is, again, has quite the power, already gets along with Lincoln Riley. So he's top of my list, but it is a very deep one. Feel free to throw in your ideas in the comments section. All right, next up here, again, I appreciate everyone here. I'm going Lincoln Riley though at the top of my list, but let me know what you guys think. Santos Ramirez, what would it take to get Rich Bisaccia back, or is that a burnt bridge? God, I don't know what the relationship is like right now. I don't even know if it has to be Bisaccia. I think you just need to get somebody else in there. That's the special teams coach, former Cowboys one. If you guys don't recognize the name, because it's, we don't know the special teams coach, unless they're bad. That's how you know that they're not good. You can get somebody else in there I think can have his team more prepared, and bring in a better kicker. That's your biggest problem on that side, beyond just being ill-prepared. Kicker sucks. He's got to go. All right, next up here, coming up on the show, I want to remind everybody about the Cowboys jersey deals that are out there. Chatsports.com/Cowboys jerseys. Cowboys jersey. The Black Friday deal going on right now, 25% off. Maybe we should just start calling this a fire sale, because we can tie it in with Fire Garrett. Thinking here. But it's chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. Get Dak, Zeke. If you don't like those guys right now, or Amari, there's plenty of other options out there. Chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. Get yourself a Cowboys, for yourself. Put it on your Christmas list, or give it to a loved one who's also a Cowboys fan, because we need a pick-me-up. Things are not great right now for Jason Garrett. All right, next up, Spencer B. Will they keep Moore and Marinelli around as their time for a complete inferno? Good word. That's a winning word in Scrabble. It depends on who they hire. I think once they fire Garrett, whoever they bring in, I think they'll give plenty of power over their own staff, because that's how things work in 2019 in the NFL. You want your head coach to work with guys he knows and trusts. If someone like Chris Peterson comes in, that could be a scenario where Kellen Moore stays, because Moore and Peterson know each other really well, and Peterson likes Kellen Moore. That would actually be a good fit. If you bring in someone like Lincoln Riley or Josh McDaniels or whomever, you probably don't keep Kellen Moore, because you want those guys calling the plays. Peterson, by the way, I think is one of the dark horses out there, especially if you want Kellen Moore. The offense putting up a ton of yards this year, which, look, in the grand scheme of things, kind of good. It's not the best, but it's good. You want them to score more points, but I have less issues with the offense than most of the things. If that's the route that they want to go there in the end. Now, again, keep the comments coming here. Like Gonna Squad 33rd, Urban Meyer an option. I think he is an option. I don't know if he's the top option. Urban, of course, has kind of expressed interest. He kind of spoke in the past tense, but he did express interest. I think that's a big deal there in the end. My issues with Urban are a couple fold. I'm going to ignore the morality side of it just in this discussion, because I don't think that's the main talking point here. But the health is a big concern. He's left two awesome jobs. He's never coached in the NFL. He would definitely fit well with Dak and Zeke. But does he even want to go to the NFL? Are his recent comments about saying he doesn't miss it as much a sign of, I'm good, I don't have to go back to coaching? Or is it a leverage game to get the USC job or an NFL job like the Cowboys won? I think that's a fair question. I would have interest in Urban Meyer. I also just wonder if he's even the best candidate for the job. Just throwing that out there. But I wouldn't hate Urban Meyer. You could do a lot worse. Super chat, I'm just him. Thank you very much. Again, on who the interim should be. Kris Richard would probably be the guy I'd go with, just to see if he can fire up the team. And I know he's had interviews before. I think Kellen Moore could be an option. We know the Joneses like him. Garrett likes him a lot too. Rod Marinelli has head coach experience at the NFL level. The dark horse might actually be John Kitna. This would allow Kellen Moore to just focus on the offense, Richard to focus on the defense with Marinelli. But I don't know if you're going to see an interim, because, again, as I mentioned earlier on in today's show, Jerry wants to win right now. And he's right when he says this. Firing Jason Garrett doesn't help you win this year. Of course, the real question becomes, for me at least, is that the priority anymore? I kind of don't think it is. All right, next up from Max Manuel. Do you think Richard threw the game to get Garrett fired? Any more details about the locker room drama? No, I don't think Richard threw the game to get Garrett fired, because that also might get him fired. This is Richard going, I'm going to get the job, so I'm going to tank my defense. The reason people want to hire me to get my head coach fired so that I now have questionable job status. I don't think that's the case at all. I also don't buy that Garrett sunk Wade Phillips. I think that's just not really believable to me. Locker room, there was yelling going on. There's clearly frustration within the Cowboys right now, but I don't have any super details. I'm sure we'll get some later on as things go forward. All right, next up, reminder, BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code you see on your screen, Cowboys120, for a 120% deposit bonus. Maybe the Cowboys will be underdogs going forward because haven't looked great lately. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're going to give you $60 for free. All right, more live Q&A. Super chat from Gold Fox. Thank you very much, my man. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Feel like we need a hard-ass coach. Trying to think who the hard-asses are. I think Richard would fit that mold as a rah-rah, fiery guy. You know what? Here's another name for you. I think Dan Campbell would fit that role well. Again, that is a CEO type, but that's a raw type of guy. So I assume that's what you mean by saying hard-ass in there. I'll throw out another name here. I don't have great insight as to how he runs his defense, but I feel like in general, defensive coordinators are a little bit more rah-rah than offensive guys. Could Robert Saleh fit that mold? He's done a great job with San Francisco. I don't know if he's the best DC fit for the Cowboys, but there's clear issues on defense, and it wouldn't be a drastic scheme change because the Saleh defense is fairly similar. Not the exact same, but there are quite a few similarities there between Kris Richard. I don't mind going with the hard ass, but just pick your best guy in the end. From Alakia Trimble, sorry. Is JJ's ego the biggest stumbling block? I don't want to think it's ego. I think it might be stubbornness, in the sense that Jerry is stubborn about we all know this. This is not breaking news. It's been made very clear thousands of times now. Jerry Jones wants Jason Garrett to be the guy for a couple of reasons. One, he likes Jason Garrett. I think he thinks Jason Garrett's a good coach, and Garrett's not the worst coach in the NFL. He might get hired if he gets fired, but he's not good enough for the Cowboys. He's stubborn that he wants Jason Garrett to be the guy. And he's stubborn in the sense that he doesn't want to make a move because he wants to win right now. That's the issue with Jerry Jones. He doesn't care about the money. I think he's made that plenty clear. It's that Jerry Jones knows he's old and that he only has so many years left. He wants a title, and the best chance right now in late November, as weird as it sounds, to win in 2019 is still Jason Garrett. The problem is 2019 shouldn't be your focus anymore. It should be about 2020. And that's why the time has come to fire Jason Garrett. Make it clear, even if it sinks your team for the rest of the year, Garrett's not our guy. Let's look ahead. You can keep trying to win games if you want. You probably lose them. But I think a change is needed in terms of the attitude. Firing Garrett would be an indication of that. Mr. Stegosaurus, I do love dinosaurs. Feel free to throw in your favorite in the comments because we need a little lighthearted break here. Why do they stop giving Zeke the ball? So, you guys know me. I'm a pretty big member of let Dak sling it. I believe that's been the most effective route for the Cowboys offense this year. But in this particular game, I agree. I think they got away from Zeke when there really wasn't much reason to. And what was that? He had 64 yards in the first quarter and then had 2 carries in the second quarter? If the run game is working, go with it. I'm not anti-run game. I'm pro-effectiveness. And the run game was very effective in this one. So, Mr. Stegosaurus, I don't know. They shouldn't have went away from it, and it cost them in the end. Now, if you guys want Jason Garrett fired, do 2 things for me. Number 1, type FG in the comments section. Number 2, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Let's speak with the votes. We are the most watched Cowboys YouTube channel, but we want to be the most subscribed Cowboys YouTube channel as well. Once Garrett gets fired, because I think at this point it's going to happen, it's a matter of when, we'll be live for you guys. We will go live as soon as humanly possible. And if you want insight into replacements, A, feel free to ask in the comments, and B, check the channel. We got a couple videos up for you guys on that front.
Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.